welcome another Unapologetic with Eric King. I'm going to throw the strong on there just one last time. Unapologetically strong with Eric King. As you know, in August, we're going to try. No, we're not going to try. We're going to do. We're going to transition from one to the other. So today is our last day as both Unapologetically Strong and the last day that we talk about family as if, for right now. But with that said, I do have the one, the only Brian Simmons in the house today, because today our topic is family and entrepreneurship. So as you know, July we have dedicated to family because that's what we do during the summertime. And so by dedicating it to family, we want to talk about all the aspects of family. And just like we had last week, we had our brother, we had Sam Wright on. Yeah. Bring the mic, turn the mic in front of you. There you go. There you go.
All right. Okay.
We had brother Sam Wright with us, and he was excited about you coming because, we all three of us been together, for a little while.
Yeah, man.
So I want to do a proper introduction. We have my brother, Brian Simmons. He is the owner and co-owner of Wade.
Co-owner.
Wade, right. We got to put the right. Yeah. Of Wade Max Laundry.
Yes.
Yeah, brand new, located in Southgate.
20980 Libby Road.
Right, in between the hair shop and the hardware shop, which means you can come get your clothes laundered at my man's spot. So I would like to welcome you and let's just chop it up. And then we get into this whole family and entrepreneurship, which I know you and I have talked about extensively. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So welcome to the party, my brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
How you been today, man?
Hey, man, it's a good deal, man. Like I said, nice vibe in here, man. Just ready to shake, man.
He got that Scorpio energy. So just so that you know, that brother is a Scorpio just like me. So day one.
Day 23rd, I started off.
Right. So we got that Scorpio energy. And so he is just fulfilling all the Scorpio energy with the melanin. So what I want to do is just start off with so you actually did not start off in the entrepreneur field.
No.
I mean, you actually started off in the service industry. So I know what you do is service based, but this is vastly different than what you have done before. Let's talk about your time in the service industry.
Well, I wouldn't really call it service, man. We can't call education service industry, man. That's not fair. No, I've been was working with the CMSD, Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Mm-hmm. Ran a program in the district called CTAG. That stands for Closing Achievement.
Yep.
It's a dropout prevention program for at-risk youth for about 2 decades. Mm-hmm. I worked doing programming for kids, man. All types of stuff, man. I used to do one event we called a lock.
Mm-hmm.
We got the kids in the building, they sleep in the building overnight, and I have programming set up for them, etiquette training, learning how to tie ties.
Yeah.
It was a great event because we have different people from the community come out and talk. I did that for some time. Then I transitioned to the middle school.
Yep.
Excuse me. And then at the middle schools, I was able to provide programming there, and was able to team up with Tri-C.
Mm-hmm.
And we provided a robotics program for the kids.
Yep.
And then I also was able to team up with Kent State.
Yeah.
And we provided robotics for the kids there, and East Tech.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun working in the district.
Yeah.
Had a lot of creative opportunity, and I'm really, really proud about the time that I did have.
Yeah. Although I know at times we have a tendency to talk down about what goes on in our schools and what is going on in our schools, but what I've always known about you is your passion to actually serve, as well as, focus on the youth. When you're looking back at your time, and focusing on service and dealing with the youth, what are some of the things that keep you going every day, although you're not, there in that same capacity right now?
Man, just conversations, with parents,
Mm-hmm.
Being at the laundromat, have opportunity to meet a lot of kids, have conversations with kids, talking to them about their dreams, their goals, and even, what they're going through. Crazy, man. young lady the other day. I don't just trauma dump at the laundry. I'm like, yo,
what?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy, but and just talking to people that come through the laundromat.
Yeah.
Like today we're going to have Ohio Preparatory School come out and do a recruit fair, and and I want to continue to work with them throughout the year. We have classes where the kids come up and learn how to wash.
Yep.
Learn how to fold clothes.
Yeah.
We teach young men how to tie, some medical training.
Yeah.
So, I'm that's just kind of in my DNA, my fabric. I come from, coaching background. So,
right.
I want to keep that, that community connection, because those kids are gonna grow up and wash the clothes.
Exactly. I like how you tied that in. So go backwards a little bit, because what I hear is, so far too often we as people, and I'm not just talking about Black folks, I'm just talking about we as people, as as human beings, we quite often don't connect the entrepreneurship aspect of for-profit with a nonprofit mindset. When we do that, our businesses go out of business. Mm-hmm. So listening to what you're talking about, what I hear is that you figured out a way to both have a for-profit entity while having that nonprofit or that service or that connection or relationship building entity. When you started this process, was this something that you thought that you would integrate?
Yeah, because the whole vision, we have was not necessarily just a laundromat, but a laundromat with the understanding. To me, it's community based. Laundromat, in some respects can be no different from a rec center.
Yep.
Service the community.
Right.
We like to look at it. We're not just laundromat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And when you walk in, so if you guys get a chance to, it's right there in Southgate in between the Home Depot and the hair shop. So if you got, Star Beauty, if you guys get a chance to go in, I strongly recommend. With that said, when you came up with the idea, so if anyone knows much about Maple Heights, over the 40 years, it has gone from a predominantly, I guess, highly, economic area. Mm-hmm. So we had skating rinks right back in the day. We had, grocery stores there. Mm-hmm. We had quite a bit in Southgate, right? Southgate was a prime location, right down the street from North Randall, right down the street from Randall Mall, right? Mm-hmm. We had the inside mall at Randall Mall. Then we had the outside mall at Southgate. Now, over these past 20 years, maybe about 25, give or take, we have seen a downfall. We saw a downfall at Southgate, and things such as Finest or Tops or whatever in that prime location, moved to the back. We had Fitch stores, Meat Mart, right? We had a lot, skating rinks. Mm-hmm. When you chose to select that location, was it, to provide a spark to the economic development in Maple Heights to explode a little bit?
I thought that was on another segment, man.
Oh, we get that.
Jump a segment. No, that all went into, choosing the site.
Yeah.
And we, hopefully we get into that a little later.
We will.
That did go into the site. Looking at the area, even though, like you said, it's gone down, which it has gone down, but, the spending power is still there.
Yeah, the money is because it's a first ring, right? So we got Cleveland, we got North Randall, we got Warrensville, and then we got, which, if you notice, Warrensville has had their, going through the Renaissance with their mayor. Mm-hmm. North Randall is going through their Renaissance with, I believe, Amazon is right there. That's so right. If you look at how things work, Maple Heights is right there.
Right there, and it's like the center. It's the Southgate is in the middle of all of it, and like I said, we took all of that into consideration. But what when you say, well, why Maple Heights right there? Here was the biggest.
Yeah.
You have Mr. Chicken.
We love our chicken.
Right across the street from Mr. Chicken is what?
cemetery. No,
KFC.
KFC. It's been a while.
Right. Down the street from Mr. Chicken is what?
I don't know.
Popeyes. Okay.
Okay.
Right next door to Mr. Chicken is what?
I don't know. Just keep it rolling.
Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is you right there in the eateries.
Well, not
in the high traffic.
In the eateries. I mean, but okay, so that's one thing. That was one thing. One of the things we looked at. So we're saying, so that right there tells you, hey, well, competition really isn't.
Yeah.
You know. So there's a, there's money there. But then you say, okay, you look at the Southgate Plaza, right?
Yep.
There's a Family Dollar on the Northfield side.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Family Dollar on the Warrensville Center.
Right.
2 Family Dollars. Right. There's Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
There's Little Caesar.
Mm-hmm. Right on the corner. Yeah.
Yep. And there's Domino.
Right.
Across the street, you have Papa John.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all of those pizza spots.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So then also you say, on one side you have Aaron's Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Right. On the other side you got Rent-A-Center.
Right.
All right. So that area,
mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing out a number.
No, I got you.
That area has to generate at least $1 million.
I think so. Not only so, if you're looking at hard dollars, but you also got the soft dollars. Meaning, as in you go to one area,
mm-hmm.
then just like how malls work, the idea is that you're going to go to another area, and you're going to go to the next area. So if we're looking at not only the hard dollars, but we're also looking at the potential soft dollars or the combination of dollars as it relates to individuals.
And I'm going to take it a step further.
Yeah.
Right inside of the plaza itself,
mm-hmm.
there are 3 beauty supply stores.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's another beauty supply store right across the street
mm-hmm.
in the little center where they're stable. Okay. Then there's another beauty supply store right around the corner on the Northfield over by Rascal House.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So in that area, and we're talking, you walk to each one of these.
Yeah, I was about to say, because all of them are close.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say if you were to draw a square, you say that square would be a mile.
Yeah. If you're looking at it from a entrepreneurship strategic, strategy, info class, what you basically saying is foot traffic, connection, and prime dollars.
Not only foot traffic,
yeah,
but weekly visit.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
Weekly visit. So those are what we looked at as strong anchors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for the simple fact that you have people already coming there consistent, weekly,
right,
then hey, where's there a benefit if you wash your clothes while you go to Home Depot or while you go to Star Beauty,
right,
or while you go down the street to get your nails done,
right?
That's how we,
that's how you
come up with the formula.
When you say we're talking about you and your wife.
Yeah.
So let's not get it twisted.
Yes.
Anytime, we're talking about family, let's not get it twisted. Anytime that we see entrepreneurship affects the entire family. One is a extremely lonely venture. It's an extremely lonely venture because there are times when individuals you're only seeing your vision.
Oh, totally.
When you were communicating this with your wife, and I know that y'all lock and key, right? I know y'all lock and step. When you were communicating this from your wife, with your wife, you were transitioning from a service-based industry that is viewed as a nonprofit or a, personally philanthropy, type of venture, right? I'm going to go give of myself and go be. Now you're moving into a different, right? This is looking at the dollars and cents and focusing on all of the money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the conversations you had early in the game, with your wife and talking about, all right, it's time for us to be entrepreneurs.
Well, credit is, to my wife first. That's always been, that's her spirit.
Yeah.
She's always looking, pushing buttons, trying to find, an opportunity to, a financially safe, financially secure opportunity. And before we went down this path, already getting ready to jump into real estate.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, no, hold on.
You was the one like, ho, ho, ho,
I'm like,
ho, ho.
well, hold on. She's like, oh, look at these numbers. Look at that. I'm like, hold on. So, you know, we finally, finally came to a head.
Yeah.
And figured, hey, okay, all right, let's go ahead and do this.
Let's go do it.
You know, it's, you know, I guess on the surface, you can say it's different from, you know, what we're doing, what, you know, I was doing, but it's the same thing because, you know, man, having clean clothes
is important.
It's important, man.
I mean, just think about it on every level, you know, no matter what type of economic attainment you have, you go to school clean, you go to, right? We had that in school.
Yeah, man.
You know, when in our school, we had individuals who struggle financially. They knew that they can go to the service office at the school, you know, quietly, right? Once you get to high school or middle school, quietly, and you can get a change of clothes, right? You know, you had that coach that brought you in and be like, yo, why don't you, you know, they had that bar of soap in that closet or whatever have you. So I want to talk a little bit more, you know, about, you know, your startup and then your wife and then those discussions on the other side. But what I do want to come back is expound a little bit on those conversations you had. So what I'm finding in a family, you have the go-getter and then you have the regulator. So when you have those things in your family, the go-getter and the regulator has to be on the same page. They have to understand one another. So we're going to talk about that. And we also going to talk about how you actually did the funding for, you know, to get this going on. Because a lot of people don't understand when we paying into these 401ks, the IRAs and all this, you can use it like a bank for life insurance. You can use it like a bank. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick break. This is Unapologetically Strong on WOVU 95.9 FM. Unapologetically Strong, WOVU. Make sure you make it to Pop Up in the Park. We was talking about Genuine and grooving a little bit. You remember Genuine?
Oh, man. Come on, man.
Genuine.
You know you had a Genuine shit.
Bruh, I had the moves. What are you talking about, bruh? Remember that video where he dancing and he had like the broom he got from breaking?
Oh, no.
Bruh, I did that at a step show.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Anyhow. You know that's how we do. Yeah. We was talking on the other side. I asked you about the collaborative aspect of you and your wife. What I want you to do is expound just a little bit more on that. So talk about them conversations y'all had. Because like I said, you got the one that be like, go, go, go. Then you got the other one be like, hold on, let's hit these brakes, right? Right. So you were the breaker, sounds like.
Nah, man, you know what, man? We found out that we spent a lot of time arguing over the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's how I go anyway.
You know?
Yeah.
But
safety and security.
But like you said though, man, and this isn't, you know, this is common in, you know, any couple. I believe it's common.
Yeah.
In any couple that you know, that looks to open a business or looking, you know, to work together.
Yeah.
Separate.
But did you get that part, that work together part?
Yeah, well,
because it's key actually. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it did. Well, you know, again, it's good. Nobody's successful by themselves.
You got that right. You can go fast by yourself or further with people.
You gotta. I mean, even if you're by yourself, you still need somebody. You're gonna need some support somewhere. Somebody, even if they look, I did this good. You know, hey, look, okay, pat you on the back. You did that good. Right. Go do something else.
Go do something else.
You still need that support. So, yeah. And you know, when you have a vision, you know, you may not as clear as you need to be at times.
Yeah.
And you know, which may cause further conversation. About your vision.
Yeah.
And how to create it. You know, on either end, it could be frustrating because you know you feel you're expressing yourself.
Yeah.
You feel that you're clear.
Yeah.
You know, but if nobody else can understand it,
then it's not clear.
You know, then it's not clear. So, you know, those moments of understanding, you know, you have to train yourself for.
Yeah.
And then you know, trust. You know, you say you know, you could be married to somebody for whatever, but then, you know, you're working together now.
Yeah.
Okay, can I trust that you're going to do all of this?
That you're going to do
the way that it needs to be done? It
needs to, not the way you want it to be done.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Not the way, or you change it because you think something, oh, this could be better.
Yeah.
So, having those conversations are key.
Right. You said that you got to a point and you realized that you guys were arguing about the same, because that's coupleship. When you say that, I'm sure that took some time. How long into that were you, realize that we're talking about the same thing and this is how it's going to be mapped out? How was that conversation?
I think those are the harder ones because, we're both strong-headed, individuals, and, may want you to see things our way.
Yeah.
You see it like this. You said tomato. Well, I said tomato.
Right. The same thing.
And in those moments, that's where you have to, understand yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, look, I'm getting this upset, trying to make a point. All right, let me calm down.
Yeah.
And what am I not doing?
Right. What am I missing?
Yeah. Well, what am I not doing?
Yeah. And that's the important part, the what am I missing? And that self-reflection, because eventually you guys had the opportunity to utilize your togetherness in order to get this going on. So you transition from that. And when you and I talked, and you talked about how you mapped it out, can you talk a little bit about how you got the funding to open this? Because this is one of the first ones in Northeast Ohio, right? So Wave Max Laundry is a franchise.
It's a franchise.
You, in a sense, bought into a franchise and you put it in a location, a prime location, as we talked about. But you went about funding it in my opinion, based off of what I've done and what I've heard other people do, you utilize your retirement funds. Can you talk about that?
Right. Well, to be honest with you, man, in my, doing my math research, on laundromat, I came across a video on YouTube, about this guy who had built a laundry, and he said that he had used this program called Rob.
Yep.
Okay, and that's rollover for business starters. So that's how I got the vibe on Rob.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I researched the program to see if it was a program that I could use.
Yeah.
And then after reading up on it, after making some phone calls, it was a program where, we could tap into our, not all of them.
No, I got you. Yeah.
But there's a portion of our 401k and 403b accounts that we could use to start up the business.
Right. So you use that funds, you follow the regulations, you created a corporation or organization. That's right. That's an S corp.
You had to create an S corp.
Right. And what's crazy is when we talk about entrepreneurship, we constantly talk about that individual LLC or whatever have you. When you go into the S corp, that's really where the W-2s come in, the funding. That's really where you look legitimate. When you decided to make that next step, right? Because you can use your life insurance, you can use your retirement funds. When you thought about using that money, right? Because that money is set aside for retirement.
Right.
You're not retired.
No.
When we think about using life insurance money, that's for past life. When you're going through that process of explaining this concept to your wife, because now, once again, you have a wife, you have a family. When you go to explain this, hey, I want to use retirement money to fund our current life so that we can expand our retirement. What was some things that you had to prepare yourself for in having that discussion?
Well, the biggest thing was, numbers, man.
Yeah.
Numbers. Because, what let me explain what we just solely didn't, use our retirement funds. Right. So we basically had to use our retirement funds to have our money up front for the SBA loan. Right.
So that you can look a certain way. A lot of people don't understand. You go and buy something, you go into business, you have to look like that you got some funds.
Right. Yeah. You have to, or not necessarily.
I get you.
Like you have funds look like you're investing.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Look like you're investing in the project. And, so using those funds allowed us to do that. And doing so in the process, because originally, before we started the process, we had a LLC.
Yeah.
And start that process. You have to have an S corporation because S corporation has to have 401k.
There you go.
That's how we were able to get that. So that conversation we had with a company called Guidance Financial.
Mm-hmm.
Created the account, managed.
Yeah.
We also got some grant money from City of Maple.
Yep.
No, unforgivable city, and they granted our application,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to take start.
So what I hear is, so we got private money or self money.
Mm-hmm.
We have global money or national money, SBA. Then we have municipality money. What I hear, we got, and far too often, I'm just going to be real. When we talk about our community or Black community or where we're from, a lot of people don't want to jump through those hoops. That's one. Secondly, a lot of people don't know about, the things that, or the options that they have. And lastly, to be perfectly honest, if you start talking to someone about their stable money or money that they have, or talk about, hey, you can use A, B, and C, that's where they lost, because we have an emotional grab with money. When you in this entrepreneurial track and as you're moving through, what are some things that you recognize about yourself that you had to let go, that you were taught about money and about entrepreneurship?
Biggest, the first thing that glare out now, letting money go.
Yeah.
Not holding on to it, man,
Because it's a what?
Resource.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And having that full understanding. Look, I put X amount into this marketing.
Mm-hmm.
This is
yeah.
I put X amount. This grand opening event.
Yeah.
That perception.
Right.
So, looking at letting that go,
mm-hmm.
And have faith. This is how I go. These things happen.
Yeah. Because you do, right? There are hoops that you have to, right?
Certain things happen.
When you're going to, and you told a funny story about applying for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you decided to get this location, there was some things that you had to endure, right?
Oh man.
Right. Can you talk about them had to endure? So a lot of times people don't understand that you don't have to be Greek or go to the military to be hazed. You're getting hazed in the business industry. Go ahead.
So quick. So, so the first spot we wanted was the spot we're in now.
Yeah.
That loc 20980. That was the first. All right. So we go to hey, we want this location. They told us no. I mean, why? Well, because Family Dollar had a provision in there. Not Family Dollar.
Long as you don't cuss.
That was not Family Dollar.
Long as you don't cuss.
There was another tenant. There was another tenant who had something in their lease.
Yeah.
That said, hey, we don't want laundry.
Yeah.
So go look, found out that plaza next to laundry. Messed up. So the customers could get. They put that.
Yeah.
So they had us look at another spot down the street.
Right. What you just talking about is politics, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, hey,
let's go.
So they sent us down the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go look at the spot down the street. Look at the spot. Okay, it was really too much space. They wanted to give us a discount on it. They were willing to work with us about it. I said, all right, well, fine. We'll look at this. So they come back to us and said, hey, you know what? It costs too much for that space.
It costs too much for that space to what?
Well, to get that space ready for you is too much.
Right. That's what the city said, or the
that's
lease.
what the people.
The people. Okay, my fault. Go for it. Go ahead. Let's do it.
So they say, okay, so the space we want you, we told you about, we don't want it too much.
Yeah.
How about you look at this?
Yeah.
You mean the space that we asked you about?
Exactly. Right.
You mean 6 months later? Like we could have been in construction 6 months ago.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. But even still, and again, being new, learning.
Yeah.
Even still, even after got the space, there were still provisions, lease agreement, other tenant that prevented that could have prevented certain things. So an example, there was a tenant that said, hey, we don't want any laundry plants near our building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's up to us to figure out a laundry plant
Right.
or a laundromat. Now, we could have moved forward with it and said, oh, well, we're not worried about that language.
Right.
Then that tenant could have filed an injunction on
Exactly.
Stopped
everything.
Stopped everything. Now spending money to figure out if we're a laundry plant
or a laundromat. So let's go back to this hazing, because a lot of times when we look at starting an actual business, far too often we look from a victimhood standpoint rather than this is the price of doing business standpoint. Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to let go? And I'm not saying that you did, right? I'm just saying that there's a natural tendency of individuals to be like, why are they doing this to me?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get through that?
Ah, man.
Have you gotten through it?
I'm still working through that, man. And, that's one thing my wife, she, like I said, you need that support.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, stands first.
Yeah.
Almost.
Right.
That person.
Right. Right.
So I'm a work in progress on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean those opportunities, they present themselves 2-3 different ways.
Yeah. I would call them opportunities, because let's be candid. When you're an entrepreneur, every dollar that comes in and out of your organization is something that is on your shoulder. And so the reason why I say that is because at some point you went to college, you graduated, right? Mm-hmm. You learned how to work within the community in schools, right? So you have certain stripes, you have certain skills that you acquired over time. When you're doing this for the first time, isn't that, just skills that you're acquiring for the next time you do something?
That's a good question. I like how you phrase it.
I'm professional.
I'm gonna look at that different.
Yeah.
We all had the ability to tap in, man.
Yeah.
And if you do your math and you come up with the right formula, then like we've discussed before, man, there's so many examples around us to learn from.
We talked about hip hop, 90s hip hop and 90s music. If you are a child of the 90s and you have not paid attention to the music that you listen to or the movies that you watch, you got a problem, because they outlined everything.
They outlined everything. I mean, like we talked about with Biggie.
Yeah.
People always say, man, he was giving his away for free. Okay, so away free watching.
Right.
What I'm saying? Same concept.
Right.
Same concept.
Right. I told you my story. When I had to go, when I was going through my reorganization, this little clip came up on IG about power. Right. And so, St. Patrick was talking to the dude that wanted to take over his club. And he was like, I got them because I got them because I got them. And I was like, let me go back and watch this. And when I went back and watched it, I felt more confident. But with that said, this idea that individuals are doing this to me personally.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to take on, man. It's easy to take on because it's your passion.
Yeah.
It's your dream, it's your vision. And you're not gonna let
it's your baby.
You're not gonna let nothing stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you shouldn't let anything stop.
Yeah.
Especially if you get into it at a certain point, there's no turning back.
There's no turning right.
No turning back.
You didn't give up your job. You didn't add it in your retirement.
Yeah.
There's no turning back. When you look at, so let's piggyback off of that, right? The things that you're doing now, in my opinion, is just going to help you later. When you're looking at the later part and you're looking at where you can go, at what point when you started this process, did you look at vision, pushing it forward as it relates to your family?
Well, man, that's always been man. Putting something together that they could, keep going, and expand on. I tell my grandkids that, hey, and I said that, hey, you know what, each of you guys, when you go down with school, you're supposed to have. I want to have enough where I shouldn't say we want to have. Right. We want to have enough stores so that when you get done with school, you got a store. You know what I'm saying? Now it's your job to take that store and expand it.
Rockefeller model.
I mean,
I'm just being honest with you.
Listen.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy because, if you gone to
It's been a minute.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not just, but the Motown Museum.
Yeah, I got you.
Let's listen to the story of how Barry Gordy started up Motown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a point that knowledge got lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where we family created their own banks, their own trusts.
Boom.
And a lot
say it again. Say it again.
We, the families, created our own banks through our trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we loan money out to our family members.
Right.
And then when something happened, it secures, and then the money goes back in
automatically
into the trust, and then the interest grows.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people don't know that's the actual, when I say, and I'm not joking, that's the Rockefeller model, right? Go ahead.
But my point is that at some point, we had access to that knowledge.
100%.
We had access to that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But we got lost some.
Yeah. Did we get from the standpoint of you and generation? So we got this buzzword, generational wealth, right? Mm-hmm. At this present moment, I feel as though it's a buzzword. When I hear people talk about it, I believe that they're simply just selling you a dream without giving you the blueprint. When you're looking at your blueprint and you're talking about your family or your grandkids, how much of this have you actually, sat down and operationalized to pass along forward?
Well, I had conversations about it.
Yeah.
Actually had Chase. Chase.
Okay.
Back in the floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, they've part of watched, get built.
Yeah.
Had took them along.
Yeah.
The whole transformation of the space.
Mm-hmm.
And excited.
Okay.
That they understand, not given to.
Right. That you got to earn.
Yeah.
So when I look at steps and I look at it from a family model, right? So you have the heads of the family, right? The co-heads. We got the spouses, co-heads, right? And then we have the children. When I'm looking at this model, I'm looking at it, the co-heads are starting, the children are working in order to fund their dream, right? Whatever they want to do. And if they choose to do the thing that you want, if they choose, then, it's okay. But what you're actually doing is investing in them so that they can go out and make investments. And then the next step is you figure out your exit plan. Would you agree, or is there something that you would add to that? So first, the co-heads, right, started, they bring the kids in, they create a medium or a mechanism for them to go out and create their own. And then the heads or their owners figure out an exit plan overall to move forward in something else. Is that something do you agree? Do you think is something that's missing?
Well, I think that whole, I say again, it's missing because, again, like I said, knowledge.
Yeah.
Have any programs like this,
yeah,
exposing,
yeah,
financial side of things, how to get done with.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it's about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We need the kids to, embrace the formulas.
Yeah. Because they're all formulas.
They're formulas.
Yeah.
And I say that because, again, watch documentaries.
Right.
And, watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, happiness, because they're not selling food, they're selling happiness.
Well, and again, but their whole thing is we can get kid McDonald's.
Yep.
McDonald's as
exactly.
And then he'll take his kid.
Exactly.
To McDonald's.
Because it's a model. Because a lot of people believe that, and I shouldn't say a lot of people, I shouldn't say it like that.
It is a model, because if we look at the
all of them do
the reading standards test. What grade is that?
3rd grade.
Okay, that's a kid, right?
Yeah.
So there's data.
Yeah.
Pulled off of these kids, but are we investing in it?
When I say that, far too often we're looking for different ways to fund our future. And when you're going to someone and saying you're going to struggle, you're going to have emotional fluctuations. And during those emotional fluctuations, you're going to want to quit. But this is the end goal. When we talk to people in that manner, they don't necessarily hear us because just like you said, something is missing. I believe the idea of operationalized pain as you get to pleasure is something that, in my practice, as a clinician that I see, and I also see it in the entrepreneur world to where there are individuals that don't necessarily realize that your pain that you're going through is purposeful. The only way it's going to be unpurposeful is if you let it.
I mean, you gotta go through something, bro. You gotta go through something. I mean, goodness, man. I mean, even the cake got to go through the heat before it rise. I mean, you got to go through something, man.
But yeah, I mean, but I don't know how many people you talk to. I have the luxury of talking to a fair amount because of, I got clients in the mental health practice, but far too often I hear people running, towards the pleasure without realizing that when you go from the pain part to the pleasure part, you're using unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Right. And so in business, those same things are there, right? Predatory loans to get by, right? On working capital.
Right.
Leveraging an asset without realizing that you don't have a plan to pay back that thing.
Yeah.
So when we're doing that, we're coping with this idea that I want to be an entrepreneur. I want my own. I don't want to work for them without realizing you're going to work for yourself and it's going to be more. Right.
Oh,
so we got to take a quick break.
Okay.
You got something on the other side you got to say about that? Yeah. Okay.
I'll wait for the break.
We're going to take a quick break. This is Unapologetically Strong on WOVU 95.9. Welcome back. We got the owner of one of the first wave Max Laundry franchise in Northeast Ohio, Brian Simmons, as my guest today. And so we're talking about family and entrepreneurship and just getting out of our own ways in, creating that buzzword or, not that buzzword, but creating that idea of generational wealth and meaning it, not just as a selling point or as a buzzword to get someone to believe. So on the other side, we were talking about that idea, right? That structural, concept, that one-to-one, getting from pleasure to pain, and coping, in a business aspect in a healthy way. When you're looking at someone or you have someone that comes to you and be like, how you do it? What are some, let's start with you, right? Because everybody do that.
Right.
In all honesty, after a while, you become the go-to person. You become the person that says, okay, this is how you do it. When you go and you talk about the pain of getting to pleasure, first, what are some things that you tell someone? And then secondly, I hate to, stack questions. Secondly, what is their reaction when you telling them this thing?
Oh man. First thing I tell them is, you got to have your paperwork together.
Yeah.
And what I mean by paperwork, credit, your business plan, your lease, your funding, your projections. All of those things are gravely important
because they matter.
Well, not only does it matter, but my experience, I can't talk about everyone else's, but my experience with SBA process, man, we submitted them a budget.
Yeah.
They went over each.
They haze you.
You know how on the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
You got
that line.
A2. They go to A. They went to A2, A3, A4. Then they went to B2, B3, B4.
They went. Yeah.
Because for me, when we submitted our projection, we had to submit projections for a year, for 3 years. So the first year was month by month, and second year and the third year. But that first year, month by month, you can't show any loss.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So here it is. You're projecting these numbers based off of a building that don't exist. Yet, what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to, be able to explain how you come up with these numbers.
Exactly.
And
the rationale piece. of your proposal.
I mean, and you got to do your math.
Yeah.
You know, you have to do your math. So, having your paperwork together is
It's crucial.
The crucial. And not only just having it, but having it record.
Yeah.
So just because you gave it to them don't mean they won't ask for it again.
They're going to get right, like we talked about. Whether it's the bank or it's somebody else, they're going to ask for it again.
They're ask for it again. So, having your files together, having your bank statement together, having all that information together, having a book where all your passwords, all of that stuff. Now, second question.
Yeah. When you tell someone that, like, because what you're actually saying is you need to be attentive. You need to be organizationally. You need to be organized. Mm-hmm. And then you have to have the ability to be questioned. When you tell the people that, what's their response? I'll tell you what I've gotten, but go ahead.
Well, second question, like I'm saying, I have no problem with, with sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to me and they ask me, I'm willing to have that conversation at any time, start the conversation and come back and revisit the conversation, because, being in this position, and, you got to spread love.
Yeah.
And
you got to get back.
You got to get back and you have to keep the circle of knowledge spinning. You have to keep the circle spinning. From some people, I get some, some dang. I get that dang.
You did all that?
Really? You got to do all that? I thought I just, get the laundromat and get the key and, and just collect some quarters. That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. But, it's for people who it's their passion.
Yeah.
And it's what they really want to do, they're in for the conversation.
They throw it down.
Yeah, they're in.
So flip it. When you talk about that, this is a show about family. This is a show about entrepreneurship and family. When you talk about how to deal with partnership, right? Whether this individual is young and solo or young and coupled or, whatever have you. What are some pain points that you want to pass along, to the people listening of how to do this collectively? Because that's the key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Collectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just talking.
Yeah.
And here is the big thing. Delegate.
Man. Say it again.
Delegate.
Right.
All right. That's huge. Because you got your vision and you want to buy the ingredients.
Yeah.
You want to mix them up. You want to use your mixer, your blender.
Yeah.
You want to use your stove, your pans.
Yeah.
But you might not mix as good as.
Yeah. You got to find the ins and out, right?
This person might mix a little bit better. Right. This oven over here might be a little better than your oven.
Right. Right.
Right. And so that was huge when I got to the point where through our communication,
you and your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
I'd have to settle on some things.
You are not good at blank. So I need you to do blank.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not good at blank. And so I need me to do blank in order for you to do blank. Right.
And then guess what that started doing?
Yeah.
Creating a balance. Because
that's the key. Because that's what you're actually doing. And to go back to what you said earlier, when you connecting, this is the interesting part. If you are an individual who is unconnected, when you go to connect with someone and you are one of those individuals who want more, right? Who want growth, who want different, make sure you find someone who is okay with that, right? Because when you delegate, we're not just simply talking about people that are not connected to you. We're talking about, this is about family. We're talking about the people that are connected to you, right? We want, when we delegate or when you delegate, do the thing we asked you to do, like you said in the beginning.
And then having an understanding that, hey, look, if I'm going to delegate this to you, then I have to accept how you do it, what you do, as long as the result is aligned with what we want.
Right. Because what happens? You delegate it and you give them it and you say, yo, A, B, and C is missed. What's up? Oh, well, okay. Well, you ain't for it.
So, delegate. That once I, said, hey, let me, I can't keep these These battles, man. I got it. I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong?
I didn't hit the mic.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing something.
Because it's not easy.
It's not.
It, having a vision and making that vision come, to fruition, one, is difficult. Two, having that and purposefully wanting your partner to be a part of it, not because they need to be, right? There's some people who don't need their partner to be a part of it. They want their partner to be. It's a different struggle. And within families, if you already have some family struggles, doing this is going to bring it all out.
It's going to bring, more than bring it out.
Yeah.
More than, and then like we saying struggles, one of the struggles I have is, getting my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they all have lives.
Yep.
They have jobs.
Right.
Trying to delegate different tasks. And
right.
Like, how about you come fill up the vending machine?
Right.
So I'm like, you just come in and do payroll.
Just do this one thing.
Just do this one thing. Just do this one thing. So, and that's been a struggle because, they have lives and kids. But, it's part of the struggle.
Well, we about to close out. We got about 4 minutes. What I want you to do is, so for those that are listening, and let's go back to this idea of family, right? Mm-hmm. What are some things, 1 or 2, things that you want to pass along, to individuals trying to do this thing that you're doing, that entrepreneurship, with the idea that this is a family thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, write it down, man.
Yeah.
Take it from your mind to the second dimensional form. And, once you write it down, do your math.
Yeah.
What I mean by do your math is find out, the things that you need to do to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Find out the people that you need to align yourself with to make it happen.
Network.
Yeah. What events you need to go to make it happen.
Get your behind off your shoulders.
Do your math, man.
Yeah.
Do your math, get your formulas. Once you get your formula together, man, create the vision. Know that, all right, if I need to talk to this person, I need to go to this.
Right.
I need to do this by that date. I need this done by that date, this done by this. You're marking off that vision, and then you finish at the top.
The other thing, you mind if I add one?
Go ahead.
Be okay with the things you don't know. Far too often.
Huge.
Yeah. Far too often, not just with entrepreneurship, just in general.
Man.
We're not okay with the things that we don't know because it makes us feel insecure.
But yeah, because I'm telling you right now, dude, you're going to learn something new every day. It's a new system you got to learn. Yeah. Something new you got to learn. It's something new every day.
It's always something. And having that something, there's definitely an idea that, hey, it's okay not to know this. Secondly, let me go find someone that does know. And that's the part where especially if you Black male, you got to be okay with someone else knowing more than you and you being vulnerable enough to say, boom, to accept that I don't know this. And because I don't know this and you know this, I am nervous, but I got to get through that nervousness. Mm-hmm. And I got to at least talk to 15 people to get this one idea right through. So I appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, bro. I
appreciate you, man. Did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah, man.
All right. Shout out to the wifeys.
Hey.
On both sides.
Love you, babe.
Shout out to the kids on both sides because we going through this together. All right, man. This was the last, family show. Next week, we got our sister, Stephanie Kell. She going to come in. We talking about spiritual gifts.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we got to tap into that.
Tap in.
So I like to thank everybody. B, thank you for participating and being my brother all these years, man.
Oh man, love you, bro.
All right, man, love you too, bro. I'll catch you next round. Peace.